What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Mecole Hardman spoke with the media today regarding the trade rumors that have been swirling about him, and it's really an unfortunate situation. I did a video yesterday discussing just pretty much everything that has gone on with Hardman and why it might not have really worked out here. But I think all things considered, he's handled this pretty well. Like, if comparatively, for example, last year, remember Elijah Moore wasn't getting the ball and how he handled things? At this point last year, he demanded a trade when the Jets were in the middle of a win streak. And I think, for lack of a better term, Mecole Hardman's been a really good soldier through this process. He's, some of his quotes, I just want to play. Said whether it's here or elsewhere, added he hasn't asked for a trade. The first time he heard of it was that they were listening to offers yesterday.
Well, I mean, obviously the news broke of something about shopping around, whatever. Like to me, I just want to play, just want to get on the field and do some things. So whether it's here or somewhere else, I don't make that call. So whatever happens. But I'm just work every day, and whenever I get that chance, I'm gonna prove it.
Have you asked the Jets for a trade? Like, have you asked or your agent asked the Jets for a trade?
Well, it's above me. I haven't really. The first time I heard the news was yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it broke. So this is the first time I'm hearing it. So, I guess maybe they've been talking or going back and forth, or maybe the front office been doing what they've been doing. But other than that, I'm just here practicing.
Would you welcome a trade or a release?
I mean, it just depends. I guess if it works for both sides, I guess I don't know. Just the thing, I ain't never been part of this before, so I don't know how it go. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, I want to go out there and contribute and help my team win. But as of now, like I said, I guess it's just more, better options, or they just haven't, called my number yet. But all I can do is just work, man. That's all I can do.
It's pretty much saying that he just has to put in the work, and whatever happens, happens. Whether it's here or somewhere else, if all he can do is try to get better, and if they call his number, in his words, great, he'll be ready to go. If not, well then they'll probably trade him and he'll go somewhere else and try to perform. But like I said, I think he's handled things pretty well, and which is a really, crappy situation for the guy to be in. I get it. I understand why they are where they are, because, they like to play Randall Cobb. Number one, they trust the vet. And number two, Xavier Gipson's kind of come along stronger than I think anyone anticipated. They've used him, not Hardman, as the returner. And they've been giving Xavier Gipson snaps the last 2 weeks. I mean, if you look at it, Hardman's had 22 snaps in the 4 games that he's played. He was inactive in week 5, so 22 snaps in 4 games. Cobb's had 23 snaps each of the last 2 weeks, and had like 40-something snaps against New England, a very crazy high number. But even for Xavier Gipson, like, just by looking at the snap counts, you can kind of see what the Jets' plan is. Randall Cobb was getting more run through the first 3 weeks, and now the last 2 weeks he's played 23 snaps each of the last 2 weeks, and Xavier Gipson's kind of gotten that Mecole Hardman role that I think they originally anticipated, and Gibson's played 11 and then 20 snaps the last 2 weeks. So that number is rising. That's a good sign for Xavier Gipson, and I think they're going to use him the way that they probably envisioned using Hardman. And again, just for whatever reason, it hasn't clicked, it hasn't worked, but the Jets are now probably in an opportunity where they're going to try to trade him, and whether that's to a team like, I don't know, we'll just rattle off some off the top of my head, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Colts could probably use a receiver. The Panthers have been looking to add a receiver. There are a few different areas that they can go and try to moving him. Not that they would be able to move him for a ton. I don't see the Jets flipping him in a pick for an offensive lineman. That would be very, very surprising. I don't see the Jets adding him and Carl Lawson together in a trade. I've been asked a few times about that, about, trading Hardman and either a pick or Carl Lawson for an offensive lineman. I just don't think that's realistic. I think you're probably looking at a late round pick or a pick swap if you are going to trade Mecole Hardman. But at the end of the day, this is the business side of the NFL that we unfortunately get to see and unfortunately have to talk about. But Mecole Hardman, I thought, handled himself well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.